thank you, Elgin, for just coming today. I'm so privileged just to have Elgin Walker, and he's down in Santa Clarita, California. You know, we used to live in Studio City, so similar neck of the woods, and I grew up in Orange County, so we got a little bit of the vibe there. You know?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
And I'm just so privileged just to have you, just to be able to talk today about creating influence. How do people create influence? And you know, you've made decisions in life. Why did you choose real estate? I mean, what was your cause why did you even shift? I mean, you did what, 34 years ago? That's amazing.
Yeah, it's funny. I was one of those can't miss kids that missed, and athlete, all that good stuff, and I got hurt, and even more so than that, just got off the path a little bit, and since I didn't finish college. I went from can't miss to like miss. I didn't finish college, and I was working, was making good money what I was doing, but I was on one of those jobs where I was working late nights, and you needed to, after 15 years, you might be able to get on a day shift, and after 20 years, you might get to park in the parking lot and not have to park on the street. One of those type of jobs, you're eating tuna sandwiches at 6 a.m, because you're getting off and, that thing. And so I always felt that there was more for me in life. And I got married all this around the same time as getting my real estate license, because I decided that I wanted to get into something where I had no ceiling. Because now I didn't have a college degree, so I couldn't walk into IBM, which was part of the plan. And then I was going to, become this great computer programmer, software engineer, whatever it was at the time. So anyway, real estate offered me an opportunity to be my own boss. I always felt that if I bet on myself, never had a problem working, and that would be my way out. Then, of course, at the time I was young and younger looking. So yeah, it was definitely a different beginning. But yeah, 34 years ago, that's where I started.
Wow. And so you've been with different brokerages before. It just sounds like, what did you think of the training? These other brokerages.
Yeah, this is 34 years ago. There wasn't no training. My training was, and this is an honest and true story. I was given a telephone book. I guess there's some folks who don't know what a telephone book is. Telephone, you got these books with phone numbers with people's names in them, right? So I was given a telephone.
And that was your lead source, right? They called.
Absolutely. No one told me anything about calling expireds or for sale. Nobody told me anything. My broker said, call here. I had a real basic script. My script was, hi, this is Elgin with it wasn't EXP at the time. Hi, this is Elgin with such and such realty. I'm calling to see if you're thinking about buying and selling any real estate this year. I would do that, because at the time, remember, there's not a do not call list or anything else. So I would do that from 8 in the morning to 8 at night, 5 days a week. And I would just pick phone numbers from the phone book. I had no rhyme, no reason. Only thing I was told was I need to talk to 100 people a day. That's what I was told. So that's what I did. I talked to 100 people a day, and I got a whole bunch of no's. And on the weekends, I set open houses for anybody that would let
me. Okay, awesome.
I remember I had no money, man. So there was no flyers. There was, if it wasn't company provided, I didn't get
it. Because you got to close the deal.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, so what so obviously, so you really, you were very, very determined. You sat down, you really dove in, and obviously a lot of times, I think for a lot of people in life, it's like a matter of necessity. It's like, I've got a family to feed. I've got things that I want to get taken care of. Let's do this. Push aside all excuses, push aside every single obstacle that's staring you in the face, and just jump over it and kind of keep on moving. And that's what I found is you need persistence to be able to succeed. And we all have all kinds of excuses and reasons to stop us from succeeding. but you really got to push past it. It's a mental game. It's a mind game. And, why, so you've chose EXP, and then typically as a real estate broker, is there money to be made there? I mean, how do they make money? I mean, just for people that don't understand the path of real estate.
No, not a problem at all. So, I started off with a few different companies in the first couple of years, and actually wound up leaving all except one of them because they closed down. It wasn't so much that they closed. So I actually, believe it or not, ended up at a Remax. Ended up at a Remax office. Worked there quite a few years. You got in the Remax Hall of Fame, all that. Invested in a Remax office. I really, really liked the system. And I was working in the San Fernando Valley. That's where I was raised, so near your Studio City story. From there, I went to Keller Williams. I spent like 15 years at Keller Williams as well. So the long story short with all that, for those that don't understand how real estate people get paid, you have your broker, and your broker or brokerage, everything really goes through that broker. And then as agents, we're on different splits with the brokerage firm. And, depending upon what you've negotiated, what your production is, or whatever else perks your company may or may not give you, that's at the end of the day is where you, as the agent, gets paid. And you only get paid for selling homes, hopefully buyers and sellers, and escrows closing. If you don't do that, you don't eat. So as you can see, I haven't lost any weight. So I needed to eat, which means I needed to help buyers and sellers. Obviously, with EXP, there are multiple opportunities besides just helping the buyers and sellers to generate revenue and actually hopefully build a legacy for your own family, while we build legacies for other people's families as well in the business. And having an opportunity to do those things, along with being at a newer, innovative, just invigorized company, is really the things that brought us to EXP Realty. You talk about the happiest decision that we made 2.5 years ago, and we put ourselves on a track of where we were hoping to be 5 years from the time that we moved. And we are probably 3 or 4 years already ahead of that, of where this thing is going. It's just amazing. It's been the most amazing thing that I've experienced in my life, to be honest with you. The EXP experience for our family, it's just been crazy.
Wow. So it's just been a real game changer. Kind of explain, so with EXP, when you make a sale, you can choose to be kind of like a partner and have equity in the company. Is that correct? Like you can actually purchase a stock or something like that? Kind of explain a little bit from your perspective how that works.
No, absolutely. And that, unlike some of fellow agents that have come to EXP, that was the biggest reason my wife and I came. Because as you know, the one things that we don't have in real estate as realtors are there is no retirement program. And for years, I'll help buyers, and part of their qualifications and things like that, most of the time they're complaining they don't have enough down payment money. And then we always have to get proof of funds. But where does the proof of funds normally come from? All of a sudden, they've got these 401k statements that they'll give you that'll have $1 trillion in it that they get to get one day. And I'm looking at, okay, you might have $10 in the bank, but you got $1 trillion over here for when you retire. So I'm thinking like there's something wrong with this picture. So I've always, over the years, shouldn't say always, over the years, I've learned the stock game a little bit, invested in it, done well in some parts, done awful in others. So what caught my eye, to be honest with you again, was the fact that, okay, I could actually continue to do what my wife and I have been doing for so long, only now I could take a portion of our commission and have it reinvested back into a company that, a publicly traded company, which EXP is. And we already felt so behind where this company was going. And what we figured was we would do that for at least 5 years and not even touch the money. So we got into the
Mhm.
repurchase program. So out of our commissions, the first 5% goes back into buying stock, back into the company, buying us equity, pretty much into our own business here that EXP allows us to do. In addition to that, we've been blessed to help build, uh, building a team and what we call a success team, and helping others in our success team and doing other things to help the company build. So, the company then blesses you with giving you additional stock in the company, additional equity. That of course has to be vested, but it's like, okay, so you mean to tell me that it's kind of almost like going to the movie, and I like the movie and I think it's a great movie, and I tell my buddy, hey, that's a great movie over there. And you mean to tell me the theater then gives me some stock to tell them that the movie was a good movie? So that's the way I felt about the issue. I'm gonna be telling people about this anyway. So now I'm gonna be telling people about this. I'm gonna have that opportunity. Then I'm going to have the opportunity to reinvest. Now, what I also did, which was actually what got my wife and I to come over and actually make the final jump, was at the time that we came over, when we were initially introduced to EXP, our stock price was $2.50. We did, but we
Mhm.
didn't move. But had we moved that day, that's where the stock was. By the time that we actually moved over, the stock had went up to $15, which was about a year later. So what I did was, like, I don't know if this is smart or if it just made us mad, was I took the amount of money that we had made the previous 12 months. I took how much money we would have been able to invest at $2.50 a share if we were EXP, and what that would have been worth at $15 a share. And
Wow.
I kicked myself, well, because it in for now I don't want to make it sound, because I mean I don't want to make it sound it was a big deal. I put it like this: it was more than six figures. It was a six-figure difference of money for doing nothing different. It's the same exact amount of gross income we had at Keller Williams in that 12 months. We would have had an additional more than a different additional six figures to ourselves in our quote unquote retirement, our 401k. You know
Hmm. Yes.
that was really the no brainer at that particular point. It was like, okay. And then the stock fell back and stuff that stocks do, but we didn't care. We figured we were in the right place at the right time. That just was able to. We just keep helping families, just keep helping buyers and sellers, just keep helping doing the
Hmm.
same thing we've been doing all this time. But all of a sudden, it was like, wow. And I don't know. At least at the time of talking with you, Sid, I don't know if you happen to look at the stock price, but it's a whole lot higher than $2.50.
Is
Absolutely.
it? Oh man, that's so great. And how do you feel, like what is creating influence to you? Like, you've done well at EXP, you've grown a lot as a person, and to you, what is like influence or creating influence? Like, how does it help you or help your family or help others? Like, what do you feel creating influence is?
I have always felt, and even feel strong to this today, that people gravitate, number one, to you if you're authentic.
Mhm.
I am who I am. If you catch me here on this interview with you, if you catch me at a drive-through at Taco Bell, if you catch me no matter in the grocery store, you're gonna get the same dude. You're gonna get the same guy. So it's almost like I don't put on a persona for anything. I just am who I am. I try to live my life in a way that if, at the end of the day, when it's all said and done and it's over with, I can feel good about what I have done and hopefully what I've projected out into the space, out into the universe. So I think that authenticity really helps you, quote unquote, with your influence, because people will really listen to you and there and it's believable. You know, I also believe in presenting people with opportunities, but not forcing it on them. Like some people
Mhm.
feel just because we're quote unquote salespeople, and that we are, but I always do better in just providing proper information to people, and then they make their own decisions from there. I also understand that people don't necessarily make the move that I might think is the best move for them, and they may not make it right away because I don't know what's going on in someone else's life on why they don't make the move. I don't know why they don't see this, right when I, saw it.
Right, right.
But then sometimes I have to go back to like we mentioned here at the beginning of the interview here, is I didn't move right away. It took me a year. It took me a
Mhm.
year, but the person that got me in, one, he's somebody I've known. He's very authentic. Presented stuff to me, and he wasn't calling me every 2 or 3 minutes. And when are you coming? When are you coming? And doing all that. And eventually, because of that type of approach, I was approaching him, and I have that
Okay.
more in the business myself now. Whereas I will get people, particularly now that the company is taking off where it's going, people will approach me more about it and feel like they can get honest answers, and I'm able to
Mhm.
hopefully build from there. So that's from an influence for me, or as an influencer, is someone that they can really people can gravitate to. Uh, know that if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to 100% do my best to follow through with it. Knowing I'm not going to just say something like I'm not just going to say something. So Sid, you join EXP because I'm just going to say this, and I'm just going to show this, and I'm just going to no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to
Right.
hopefully do things the right way, and that when you make your decision to come to EXP, it'll be the right decision for you and your family, and then we're going to have a different relationship while we build together. And if I try to drag you over kicking and screaming.
Right, right. Oh. Now you're a husband and wife team, is that correct?
That is correct.
And then how many homes on roughly are you guys selling per year? What are you guys doing?
So we're doing a lot less than what we used to do. A lot less. Meaning like we're doing about 35, 40 homes a year. And it's just my
Wow,
wife and
wow,
I.
that's great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, it's good numbers, Sid. But I mean, at one point we were doing a lot more than that. One point had a much
Mhm.
larger team, and I in an old Keller Williams term, I self discovered that was not really who I wanted to be, because I spent more time. And granted, I probably built the team wrong, all the good stuff. I can take ownership of that, but I just decided that versus having a really great gross commission structure and winning additional awards and stuff like that, it was much easier for me to bring all of that down, spend a lot less money per month on our business, focus more on our database, our spheres of influence. And at the time, our children were smaller then, were younger. I missed no basketball games. I missed no taekwondo tournaments. I missed no recitals. I missed none of that. Chasing the transactions, and I was a transaction chaser at the beginning. So bringing that in,
Mhm.
and then we're at the point that my wife, I like to travel. My wife loves to travel. So obviously there was traveling things that we wanted to do as we were getting older, and but we wanted to enjoy before we got too old to not really be able to enjoy them. And so all those things play in the fact that okay, we can do this amount of transactions still, and that can fluctuate. I mean, I put my business plan out like everybody else does. I no longer just beat myself up if I don't make it. I use it more as a roadmap, and as a gauge of where we want to be. But then we've been able to build these other sides of the business, which have more. Not only have they brought in more income already, it's been with so much less stress and so much more fun. And they do the whole
Mhm.
EXP make real estate fun again things. Hey man, you know what? And it does affect your business with your buyers and sellers. a much different attitude, at least I do, in working with them, and maybe doing some things that sometimes you would not have wanted to do, but now it's not as big of a deal because you've got this other business that you're building, and it's exciting. It's really exciting.
Yeah, in sales, they typically call it commission breath.
Yes.
It's like you're desperate, and it comes across as you're presenting yourself with clients and stuff. But it sounds like to me, EXP is kind of able to, I guess, diversify your income streams. So now for you, you're kind of finding a new lease on real estate life and being able to enjoy it and take more time traveling and vacations and not having to, okay, yes, I just sold the property, but then like in the back of your head, like, okay, what do I got next? When do I get paid next? But now you're getting multiple streams of income that are coming in. So it's just taking a little bit of that pressure off, which is absolutely amazing. And that is the main reason that we joined EXP is, I've been doing for sales professionally for 20 years plus. I've done very well, always been a top producer in different industries and things like that. But again, it's the commission breath. It's like, okay, I made the transaction. And then you're in your head, okay, what's my next deal? How do I, there's no kind of ongoing income thing. And EXP provides that to agents that are smart. You have to work. It's not free.
Mm-hmm.
You have to build it, but it provides that way so you can get a lot of other strong income streams besides just doing transactions. You'll still be doing transactions, but it creates that. You've got the equity opportunities. You've got the residual income opportunities. You got the bonus structure, which is phenomenal. And, for producing agents, and it's like a no-brainer. Why wouldn't you want to seriously look at that?
Absolutely.
And, that's what really inspired us just to do it is we didn't want to just do transaction after transaction. It gets tiring,
Yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely. One of the leaders in our company actually happens to be within our success team here is Brent Gove, and Brent in a nice way. We were talking, and Brent he said to me, he said, so hey Elgin, have you ever he goes, and no one to answer the questions, of course, but he's answered. He says, have you ever he goes, have you ever taken 40 listings in a year? Yeah, and I was like, well, yeah, of course. And he said, and that's a good feeling, everything, right? And I was like, well, of course. He said, so once those 40 listings sold, what did you have to do? Well, you go out and get some more listings. He said,
Yeah.
so he said, so what if this? He said, what if you could take 40 listings one time and continuously get paid off those same 40 listings? How would that make you feel? Great. That's how it would make me feel. He said to me, he said, then why don't you go out and share this EXP opportunity with 40 people that see it like you do? And as you start to build your success team, you will have 40 listings that are going to list without you. And they're going to keep listing, and they're going to keep listing. And your team and the people that you've shown this opportunity to is just going to grow and grow. And this company is going to compensate you for that. He goes, how doesn't that sound better than to continuously go out and get those 40 listings? Yes, Brent. Yes, Brent. and that was another thing, because just like you said, when you're doing this and you're helping the buyers and the sellers, you become very transactional. Your whole business becomes a transactional business. And even if you are, and this is my opinion, that if you're building a team of other real estate agents, and that is based upon closed transactions, you're still in a transactional business, because no matter how much of that you're building, it has to continuously go on with you at the head and helping the people on your team, or your team growing, or team members leaving, or all the stuff that goes on with doing that. You're still just doing it with hopefully at a different level. And the expenses, and you open your own brokerage. Okay, that's nice. It has a good ring to it to have your name on the front of the door, but then your name is on the front of all of the bills too. There's just so much of that,
Yeah.
and most, all those things have been alleviated for us with the EXP. It's just amazing, I think you can tell I'm
Oh.
excited about EXP.
Oh, absolutely. I'm like, it totally makes sense to me, and it's awesome. Now, when you started, how many brokers were with EXP?
There were only 12,000. This was 2.5 years ago.
Well, 2.5 years ago.
2.5 years ago. There were only 12,000.
And now the numbers I'm hearing like 43,000-ish. Is that
That
kind
is
of
correct.
about right?
That is correct. It's
I
that
mean,
crazy. 2.5 years. That's another thing. See, when I was at Keller Williams, when I started Keller Williams, there were only 16,000 agents. When I left Keller Williams, there were 190,000 agents. I keep telling people I've already seen this movie before. I know how this movie starts. I know how this movie is going to end. The difference is that as the credits for this movie roll on, there's going to be opportunity for me and my family to continuously get paid on the credits too.
Yes. I mean, you've done very well. It sounds like you're a really smart guy, and success has really, really helped you immensely. And so I just want to say thank you for your time. I mean, it's just been, we see each other on the success team, and we talk our kind of, but it's always nice to hear a little bit of the backstory. Like what everybody's got their own motivations and things like that, and what they want to do, and just kind of joke like, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Yeah.
And good for you. I mean, I'm just really proud of you, just what you've done, and it sounds like you've been able to affect a lot of lives. And thank you so much for, being able to have the opportunity to affect my life and stuff, because I'm really impressed with the caliber of people that I'm seeing like yourself that, are all part of this and everything. So I just want to say thank you so much. I just do appreciate it.
No, Sid, man, thank you, my friend. I'm humbled that there's plenty of people you could have spent your time today talking with, and it's a humbling experience for myself and for my family, that anybody would ever want to hear anything I have to say, and that it's a positive thing. And I thank you. I really appreciate you taking the time to reach out, and I enjoyed our conversation today. Thank you so much.
Oh no, of course. And just thank everybody for just kind of joining on this interview here. And if you want to learn more about EXP, feel free to reach out to me. We can kind of explain the process, and because there's just plenty of resources there. But it's a pretty easy transaction process, and but I can tell you it is amazing what's going on, and you definitely want to take advantage of it. So thank you so much.